Okay, hopefully we'll get this wrapped up in part three. So anyway, I want to pick back up. We were kind of getting towards the end and basically getting to the point where Moses had to come out of the desert, come out of the wilderness, and move up the mountain to meet God, right? So what I want to ask you is, have you been diligent in your relationship with God as you've walked through the deserts? Um, I can say probably the last 3 years of my life, I'm 36 now. The last 3 years of my life has felt like a desert. Many times I've been like, okay, God, you know, did I take the wrong direction? As I mentioned before, I shared a little bit, but there's times of inadequacy, feelings of failure, saying, okay, um, I've been reduced to a stay at home dad while my wife takes care of the family. Is this it, God? Is this what I'm supposed to do? But you know what? I have to trust and rely on God that He's in control, right? And this, I have to honestly say, has been my burning bush experience. Because throughout this time, there has been times where I felt alone. I felt like God obviously wasn't looking my way. And it's been tough to stay in the Word, to make sure that I um, keep my relationship with Him a priority. But you know what? Thankfully, He's always there when we come back, right? And my burning bush was when God said, I'm not through with you yet. I'm working on my second master's right now. I just graduated in December with a master's in religious education. And God has totally changed, I guess, my direction in life at 36 years old. I thought maybe I was going this way, and God said, you know what? I want you to go this way. And it's going to take some time for you to be ready to be able to make that shift, right? So I trust that this time has been my burning bush. And I want to ask you if you experienced a burning bush. Maybe there's something that said, I know God spoke to me, or when I prayed, or I felt the presence of God, that I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, God spoke to me. He moved me. That's an awesome feeling. Obviously, Moses felt that on the mountain that day. I mean, he had to basic, basically step back and be like, whoa, what's going on? And, but we can easily become distracted and knocked off course. It's so easy. Uh, Daily life, daily struggles, the economy, our country, different things that go on. It's during these times that we can lose sight and often lose hope and feel like we have missed a boat that God has sent for us. And I want to ask you today, are you prepared? Have you spent time with God? Have you been diligent in your days? A lot of times when we feel like we missed a boat or feel like we've been left to our own, we kind of just give up and want to quit, right? God says, no, I want somebody that's going to keep going. Even when they feel dry, when they feel in the desert, that they're going to be able to slip their sandals off no matter where they are and say, this is holy ground. Because you know what? My God is here. And I just pray that each and every one of us can experience that feeling. Like Moses, our once grand earthly inheritance is only a memory within our now humble context. If we run and faint not, if we delight ourselves in the Lord, He will give us the desires of our hearts. If we want to see God, we have to be looking for Him and prepared for when He shows up and willing to do what He requires. Maybe God is preparing you right now for something down the road. What will you do when He comes for you? Makes me think of the song. Yeah, obviously Bad Boys, Bad Boys. I mean, we've all seen Cops, right? What you gonna do when they come for you? What are you gonna do when God comes for you? Are you gonna run? Are you gonna hide? Are you gonna bow down and worship? Are you gonna remove your sandals and say, Holy God, in your presence I cannot stand, but I am prepared to do your will? And that's an awesome responsibility. Moses didn't know what lied ahead, but you know what? God did. And God said, now's the time. It took you so many years to get to this point, but you made it. And you know what? I'm going to use you. How awesome is that? That God just said, I can use you. I mean, what a blessing. I mean, we can't comprehend. It's definitely a humbling experience, right? I hope we've all been able to experience a moment when we know God has used us for something bigger than us, for something that only He can do. What a great experience. And tonight I ask you, check yourself. Are you ready? Are you willing? Have you seen that burning bush? Are you prepared to see a burning bush? If you were to walk up on one, what would you do? If you were to see God, if you were to hear from Him, what would you do? Would you run? I hope not. And God, tonight, I just want to close us with a strong sense of worship, of humbleness, of adoration. God, I pray that each and every one of us will be able to have our own burning bush experience. That each and every one of us may be able to know that you have touched our lives, that you have taken us from a path that maybe we didn't understand where it went. But God, that we can look back and see that you have guided every step, and God, that you will guide every step in the future. God, I pray that you would work in our hearts and our lives, our minds, our families, and God, I pray that you would just use us. May we be willing and humble servants. And God, I pray, bless us tonight. We ask this in your Son's precious name. Amen. Thank you, guys.